Hello and welcome. I'm James, and today I'm going to be showing you how I built a smart changing table on a budget. Let's go. So, how did we end up here? Well, a while ago, my partner and I had a baby, and unfortunately he was born with a condition which meant he needed a stoma bag. And as soon as we learned that, we bought this lovely but dumb changing table. And very quickly when we were using it, I realized that I often needed to increase the brightness of the bulb overlooking the table. And I got tired of doing that, so I set about automating that process. I started off with an Akara vibration sensor underneath, which worked reasonably well. But pretty soon I was working on improving the lighting situation. So at one point I used a smart bulb here to give us more direct light that I wasn't blocking. And eventually I've settled on what we have now. We have a cheap, bright white USB LED strip off of Amazon plugged into a cheap Miros smart plug down there. And rather than using the vibration sensor, which we had trouble with sometimes when I sat on the sofa, it would knock this and it would come on, I ended up using a Akara FP2 presence sensor in this room anyway. So I've now set up a zone around this table, and when you walk into it, the light turns on, and about 10 seconds after you leave, the light turns off. So, how do we set up the automations? Well, I'm just going to show you on my iPad, but it's the same on pretty much any Apple device. Start off by opening the Home app and going to the Automation tab. This will be on the left-hand side or at the bottom, depending on your device. Then press the plus button in the top right and add an automation. You want to say when a sensor detects something. In my case, it is the changing area in the lounge. And for me, it's going to be detects occupancy. For you, it might be detects motion, depending on the type of sensor you're using, like a vibration sensor. And next, we want to find the device that we want to control. In my case, I want to turn on the changing light. I'm going to tap the little icon there to say turn it on, and I'm going to give it a name and tap done at the top. And that's it. Now when somebody enters the changing table zone, in my case, the light will turn on. So now to set up the timeout for when you leave the zone or when no motion is detected any longer. Tap the plus button and start off in exactly the same way. When a sensor detects something, that same sensor, in my case when it stops detecting occupancy, but yours again might be motion. Next, we're going to go grab this little bar here and go all the way down to the bottom and tap on convert to shortcut. Now, the easiest thing to start off with is to go and find the light that you want to toggle. Next, and say turn off, that's fine, done. That is the final action that we're going to perform. But before that, we want to do a repeat. So what we're doing here is we're effectively waiting a few seconds and then checking if someone is still in the area or not, waiting a few more seconds, checking if they're still there. And if we get through every single time and they're not there, then we're going to get to the bottom, we're going to turn it off. So let's add a wait action and it will make a bit more sense. So let's say we wait 5 seconds. And then we can add an if. Knock the repeat up to 2 times because we want to run this twice, wait 5 seconds, and then check. Is that changing area still not occupied? Which means we actually want to check for a yes. Because if it is occupied again, we want to stop this shortcut. Hopefully this will finally make sense. So 2 times through this loop here, can just collapse it. You can see there's a little loop there now. So we're going to run this chunk here twice. We're going to start off where the automation says there's no one in this zone anymore. Okay, wait 5 seconds. Then check, is anyone still in this zone? No, still no one in the zone. Okay, go through the loop again. Wait 5 seconds. Check again. Is anyone in this zone? No. Okay, great. Get to the bottom and turn off the light. However, if someone left this zone and then re-entered, we'd get to this check and we'd say, oh yes, someone is in this zone, stop this shortcut. And what this does is every time someone leaves the zone, it reruns this shortcut, which gives us 10 seconds of checks as to whether someone has left that zone, thus creating a 10-second timeout. You can, of course, make this timeout as long as you like by adjusting the number of repeats and how often you check. I do recommend you don't check too often. I found that these shortcuts sometimes fail if you put something really low as your wait action and you run through that loop really quickly, like checking a sensor. Sometimes it fails for some reason. I don't know why. Hopefully Apple fixed that at some point, because there is the possibility that you leave the zone for a certain amount of time and you come back, and during that wait period, someone enters the zone and then leaves again. And you would probably want that to reset your timer. But in theory, someone could leave within that 5 seconds and your timer would not be reset. So bear that in mind. But this here is the basis of our shortcut. So once again, we're going to go next. We're going to give it a name and we're going to tap done. And then you have your timeout shortcut set up as well. So with all that said and done, we now have a completely automatic changing table, which turns on when you walk near it and off again about 10 seconds after you walk away. And as you can see, I've even added a little light projector to keep the baby happy whilst you're changing them. So what does it all cost? All in, if you go for the cheaper option of a Nagara vibration sensor, and it comes in at around £37, which is not bad going for all of the pieces. And it's really easy to set up with just 2 automations. Now, if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It would really help me out. And I'll leave links to all of the products that I used here and other options as well in the description below. And they'll also be on my website, howtohomekit.uk. Thank you very much. See you in the next one.